Hi, this is Jeremy Schuback, and I wanted to show you the thought process that went behind a dark poetic piece that I directed. So here's a clip from that piece.
Forgotten numbers tattooed on forearms, stripping individuality, and heroes in captivity for protecting national identity.
Written by Gina Davidovich as part of a contest, we first got this one sample audio from her iPhone that sounded like this.
Tune your harps in preparation for this ancient dialogue.
So the question was how to go from that little piece of audio to the final animated piece. So it started with this script and we had to work it down so it was a tight 2 minutes just because we only had the budget for 2 minutes. Honestly, we had the budget for less than that. Then we broke the script down. We gave each line a number. And from there, I started storyboarding out each of the numbers. And the first things that I started with were these concepts that were completely in the wrong direction. And you know what? That's part of the process. Approaching a project away and realizing, oh wow, this is completely wrong. So I started from scratch, not that soon after, and instead started going through with thumbnails. And a large part of what I want to talk about in this video is just really making sure to get those thumbnails right before moving on to the next step. So these were all of the sketches, and then I actually did something I decided to do a thumbnail sketch version that wasn't even an animatic. It looked like this.
Dearest children of God, tune your harps in preparation for this ancient dialogue with your disquieted...
And from that I saw, okay, this is something that's going to be successful. So from there, if you're developing something like that, you have to break the script down to here's the various illustrations I need to do. Here's the supplies I need if I'm making this physically. And, you know, I went through all of that. I came up with a rough schedule, and then I actually went through and made the illustrations. So just kind of quickly flipping through them. Here we go. You can just kind of see that I did a lot of things with letterpress. You can see I did things with Sumi ink brush. You know, these took all of 4 seconds a piece to make. And then I just kind of played around. Like, it's no crazy impressive illustration things. I didn't spend too long on each of them. I just tried to have fun with it. And I made these illustrations in a way that because I had spent enough time on the thumbnail, I had a feeling that yes, these were going to work. I had a good vision of it. This one, for instance, I was referencing the 3 other pieces in the series. So this one was referencing this one was referencing this, and finally this one, my favorite of them, was referencing this. So I was trying to build in a few layers of complexity with all of that. And then actually to make the letter forms, what I did, I realized I had no footage of making them, so I just had to remake it while doing this behind the scenes. I got a set of letterpress from Etsy, which you can see on the left side of the screen. And then I set it up as a QWERTY keyboard sort of thing because I knew that I was going to be writing a lot. And then I just did it one at a time. Then with that book in place, I videotaped myself flipping through it at the same speed that the poem was going at. We had recorded the final version, and you can see my janky setup. There was nothing fancy here. The final video from this janky setup looked like this.
Dearest children of God, tune your harps in preparation for this ancient dialogue with your disquieted soul, and let your words be soldiers with guns of poetry and infantry of images.
You can kind of hear in the background very lightly my friend saying flip. Flip. Then we zoomed in on that, basically getting rid of the hands so there'd be less needing to draw the hands in various shots. So it ended up looking more
Dearest
like this.
Children of God, tune your harps in preparation for this ancient dialogue with your disquieted soul, and let your words be soldiers with guns of poetry and infantry of images to make you turn up your eyes and cast doubt.
From there, we started doing some tests. So I had 2 artists who I was directing on this. One was Neville McKinney, who did the rotoscoped sort of hand drawings, which looked like this.
Of images to make you turn up your eyes and cast doubt to flow down upon the...
And the other one was my longtime friend, Andrew Lewitton, who was doing a variety of motion tests that looked like this. Basically, so every time the page flipped, there was a feeling of, oh, things are moving. And actually, these are the tests of, you know what? This is way, way too much movement. I want something super subtle. And that's something that people tend to do. The nature is let's do as much movement as possible, as opposed to just slight movement, as you can see in this one. This was way too much movement again. So finally, having thought it through this way, working with Neville, working with Andrew, we got to the final piece, which I'm going to show you a few segments of and just kind of fading from one segment to the next.
As we wander through yet another desert where our souls have gone, is now bone dry and soaked day. So I wait in preparation for your return, the day I'll deserve to sit beside God in the house that we'll build, united in the goal of final unity, stripping the world of hatred, and in sincerity teaching the masses how to use their words properly. And my only prayer today is that my lost...
So that was a little peek into the process of developing the ideas and getting it so it's in a final place. I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you want to see more behind the scenes and making ofs and things like that in the future.